little bit of hip opening. So what I want you to do is bring your legs into kind of like a Z position. Let me scoot back a little bit so I have space. Into a Z position. Now, to get into that position and to get to feel how your hips are feeling today, sometimes it's nice to just move. A little bit of movement. One side over to the other, lifting up tall out of your waist. You don't have to bring your knees all the way to the floor. You can just move from side to side, kind of rocking from one hip over to the other hip. Now you feel your core working when you're doing these to keep you upright, but it's more so what I'm looking for is if you feel nice and loose through the hips, and you can start to make it a bit bigger. And reach. Okay, one more each side. And reach, and then drop into it. So now we've come into that Z position. Now the thing about this is if it's more comfortable for you to have the knees bent up at less than a 90-degree angle, that's fine. Ideally though, bring the front leg out, leg back, so that's pretty much 90 degrees-ish at the knee joint. Listen to your body though. Like, I know I say this all the time, but if it doesn't feel right for you today, it might feel great doing it another day, maybe today isn't the day for it, then just relax out with these ones. Okay, so in this position, lifting tall out of your waist, elongating your spine, coming over here to the front, the bent knee in the front, and you're going to put your hands onto the floor. You're going to lean forward with your chest towards the knee, and then you're going to round out of it. So you're moving through the spine. Push your chest forward, reach towards the leg, and then round out of that. Inhale, extending. Exhale, flexing. One more. Reach and draw it up. And then bring it down into that position. Hands either side of the knee and just rock side to side. 3, 2, and 1. Bring it back up and do the exact same thing into the middle. So directly in front of you. So hands are on the floor, fingertips are on the floor. Extend with the spine, so you're reaching your chest forward and then round it up. Extend the spine forward and flex it up, round it up. Inhale and round. And one more. And then bring it down, hands either side, and a little rock side to side, swaying. Good. And then bring it back up again. Lift tall out of your waist. Try and sink down as evenly as you can through your sit bones and rotations. Just a little rotation one side to the other. Think of elongating the spine. So tips of the ears, crown of your head reaching up towards the ceiling for 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Perfect. Back into that little warm-up one that we were doing, side to side. Should maybe, hopefully, feel a little bit looser. One more each way. And then bringing it to the other side. The exact same thing. We get back into shot. Exact same. Lift up tall. Now, everybody, well, almost everyone I've ever met has felt a difference on both sides. So one side can feel a lot easier, a lot looser, just a lot more comfortable to sit into. And then you go over to the other side and it's like almost like you're sitting in somebody else's body. That's very common. So if you're feeling that right now, don't be surprised. This could be the easier side, this could be the more difficult side. Just go with what you have. So we're going to do the same movements, but like I was saying earlier, if it's really uncomfortable for you to have your knee out in this position here, if it's more comfortable to bring it in closer, or if on this side it just feels too uncomfortable on either knee, then relax out of it and kind of sit this one out a little bit and watch. Okay, so same thing, we're going to bring yourself over, hands either side of the knee in front here, and we're going to lean the chest forward and round it back. Lean forward and round back. Inhale, scoop in your navel to your spine, one more. And scoop it up. Bring it back down into position and sway. Hanging out there, letting the lower back and the glute, the buttock on that side, stretch. Good, bring it back up. You do the same thing into the middle. So fingertips onto the floor in front, the mat in front, and we're going to extend forward and round it up. Extend, scoop your navel to your spine. Pilates breathing, inhaling wide into the back and sides of your rib cage. Scoop your navel to your spine. One more. And scoop, tight, tight, tight. Come down and rock side to side or sway. Shoulders away from your ears. Oh, feels good. And then bring it back up. Lifting tall out of your waist. Rotations again. Good for 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Perfect. Okay, from here, we're going to open up into this hip flexor and the quadricep muscle. So coming down, hopefully I'm in shot. Coming down onto your elbow, pushing the hip out, scoop your navel to your spine, and circles around. Reach up and around. One more. And reverse it. Lengthen. One more. And relax it. Swap it over. Do the warm up one again. Side. One more each side. Bring it back. Okay, and coming down onto your elbow on this side. Pushing this hip forward. So you activate the glute on this side. Press your pubic bone and the quadricep muscle on this side forward. And stretch. And reverse. Sorry about the sound effects, but it feels good. Hopefully it feels good for you too. One more. And relax it. Bring it up. Sitting onto your heels. So we're going to sit back onto the heels. Now a lot of people find this position quite challenging because especially if there's tightness in your shins, the foot can feel very uncomfortable when you sit back on your heels. But I think it's one of those exercises that's worth, or one of those positions I guess, that's worth persevering on, because it's a lovely stretch for your quads, for the front of your thighs, without having to do too much. What I would normally say to people that come into the studio to me or into my class is if you feel more comfortable rolling up a pillow or rolled up towel and sitting onto that initially, and then gradually starting to get a little bit more comfortable with actually sitting back onto your heels. With it, we're going to do similar kind of movement that we did with the extension and rounded, but we're going to round back and extend forward. So round it back, stretch. You'll feel a stretch along here and extend forward. Round it back and come up. One more. And bring it up. Perfect. Okay, lying down onto your back, staying with the hips. I'm going to grab your